Tonight, mounted patrol units have been around for centuries, but we've learned many police departments across the country, even Boston, have done away with them.
This time of budget cuts, the Providence Police Mounted Command is still going strong, so we wanted to find out how the unit operates.
How many horses, how many officers, how they train to keep you safe, and the price tag for it all. I got inside access to bring you those answers in a story you'll see only on Eyewitness News. Spend a summer night out in downtown Providence, and you'll likely hear a sound that's echoed on these streets for more than a century.
We'll have a horse on the street every night of the week.
The Providence PD Mounted Unit is made up of 4 officers, 5 civilians, and 8 horses. When they're not patrolling, they're training. We got access to the police stables in Roger Williams Park.
We're the only unit in the state of Rhode Island
where the horses eat, sleep, and prepare for a day's work. This drill trains the animals to stay calm through loud noises, crucial for safety and crowd control situations during large events.
10,000 people down in Roger Williams Park.
Officers practice riding in formation, learning each horse's tendencies so they can get into position quickly.
Right onto line, move.
They have the ability to move the horse sideways and flank and move a crowd out of the way.
Lieutenant Michelle Garrett is the officer in charge for the mounted patrol. She tells me all this training adds up to a vital and cost-effective resource for the city.
They do the work of 10 officers.
We've learned the animals are all draft horses. The taller, the better.
They have a vantage point anywhere from 10 to 13 feet above the crowd level. So they can see into the crowd and see if we have a disturbance starting. They're instrumental in crowd clearing at the nightclubs, at the festivals.
Do these officers ever make any arrests while they're on the horse?
They do. The officers rely heavily on our mobile patrol to assist them in obviously transporting anybody we arrest. But sure, they go out there and they take car accidents and write tags and effect arrests.
Some horses have worked for the department for more than 2 decades and are getting ready to retire. So right now, new ones are being trained to keep the only mounted command in the state up and running. On top of public safety, Lieutenant Garrett says the unit plays a key role in keeping police connected to the community they serve. Why is it so important for Providence to have this?
Not only is it part of our history with the Providence Police Department, it's just a unique type of policing. It gets us back to our roots in the community. The horse bridges that gap with the community that we can't always get when we're doing our typical law enforcement duties.
Nice.
What people don't know is we do a lot of community events as well. We do tours at the stables on a weekly basis for kids. We work with disabled children and the elderly.
And of course, owning and caring for horses isn't cheap. So how does the cash-strapped city of Providence keep this division going? Coming up new at 6, we dig into the budget of the mounted unit and find some surprising details.
New details now on a story you saw only on Eyewitness News. Live at 5, we first took you inside the Providence Police Mounted Unit, showing you firsthand how the officers and horses train and get involved in the community. And new at 6, we're taking a deeper look at the unit's budget.
We've learned many cities, including Boston, have done away with their mounted units over financial concerns. But Providence's mounted command remains intact, and we found out how.
He's come in nice and quiet. It's one of the things we look for with a police horse.
Here at the Providence Police Stables in Roger Williams Park. 2 new horses are going through a training period to become part of the department's mounted command. They have different characteristics, different coats, but they were brought in the same way.
He is a donation.
In fact, we've learned 7 out of the 8 horses in the unit came from donations, a major money saver for the department.
We couldn't survive out here if we didn't have donations from the community.
Why do you think so many people donate?
The mounted unit represents a very unique thing in policing. It's been around for 100 years. People have an affinity for the horse itself. I think they appreciate what we do. It's tradition, and they know we take care of our horses.
Donations also pay for hay, training, animal care, and a crucial and costly piece of infrastructure that has a one-of-a-kind use.
So the stable was donated on an open space grant. It's part of Roger Williams Park, but the acreage belongs to the Providence Police Department. It can only be used for the purposes of being a stable or a barn. It can't be used for any other function. So all of the land and all of the facilities were built for us on a donation.
We checked, and found the total budget for the mounted unit is around $880,000 a year. $810,000 of that includes salaries and benefits for 4 officers who are already on the department payroll, as well as salaries for 5 civilians who work at the stables, leaving operating costs for the mounted unit at just under $70,000 a year. The city of Providence is actually going through its budget right now. Has it ever come up questioning whether or not these mounted patrols are needed?
I can say that this department has been steadfast in its belief that this unit provides a valuable service in the community. And based on that and the public support and the donations, that's allowed us to stay afloat.
On top of public safety, police say the unit plays a key role in keeping them connected to the community they serve.
There's no secret it's been a rough couple of years for law enforcement, and this is just the one tried and true community police effort. We go out on the street, and people who would not otherwise talk to a police officer will stop and talk to that the officer and pet the horse. That's just a contact you can't replace, a positive community contact.
At one point, the mounted unit had 12 officers and 15 horses. Now it would like to get back up to that number, but much of that will rely on how much money and donations it continues to receive.